What is up, guys? I'm here in Dubai with my man,
LUI,
the one and the only, with some proper cars behind us, a Tesla, a Rover. We just had breakfast at this place, some of us.
It's in downtown Dubai, but everything is downtown, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's downtown everywhere.
It's a great spot. We've been having fun. The expo was done yesterday, the second day. We just got together. We're gonna go train a little bit. He's gonna do some footage for Sporter, make some videos. I just came back from the Dubai Autodrome track. We drove the open wheel cars. It was a great experience, a lot of fun. They were 5-speed, 4-cylinder, 180 horsepower, but really, really small cars. They're like Formula One cars, open wheel. They only weigh like 1,000 pounds, so they get loose on you, and they're a lot of fun. Slicks.
So it's all track, sequential transmission?
Yes, sequential transmission, just like a motorcycle. So there's no H pattern. Right where the steering wheel is, right to the right, there's a handle, and you pull up to upshift. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then you push down to downshift. You know, your hand doesn't go far from the wheel.
And you also told me that everybody spun the car at least twice, and you did not do that.
Yeah, so what they did is there's two groups, and we follow a pace driver, the instructor, and after a few laps, they see who's fast, and they split us up into a fast group and a slow group. And then after that, they put me in a fast group, and then I was the second driver. After one lap, they made me the first driver, and then a lot of people were spinning out, so they took me out alone.
And yesterday, actually, you had another motoring experience, namely you drove an SV, Super Veloce Aventador, 750 horsepower, 6.5 liter V12, one of the last Mohicans. And his only issue is that he didn't like the experience because he couldn't drive it to the max.
Yeah, I mean, I can't handle that car at the max, but I could drive that car probably at 7.5 tenths, you know? It was my cousin's good friend, Torek. It was very nice to let me drive it. It's nothing like a regular Aventador. The regular Aventador is kind of not that special, believe it or not. This thing was rough, raw, and as he said, it's, you know, the last of its kind, naturally aspirated V12. But the engine is so big, and the throttle bodies and intakes are so big that it sounded like a turbo. The car sucks in.
To it. That's the throttle body basically breathing, in a sense.
It was amazing.
It's quite eventful.
The interior, if you guys ever see a Huracan up close or a Lamborghini Aventador up close, they're not impressive. They look cheap. They look like Volkswagen, like Jettas.
So what's the
Audis?
What's the price difference between regular Aventador and SV?
Honestly, I don't know. I know the SV is about $500,000, give or take.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and it seems like cars are cheaper here in Dubai than they are in the States.
30% cheaper.
Yeah, it's amazing. But what I was saying is the interiors are not impressive on Lambos at all. They look like Audis. And the SV, that's not the case. Unbelievable. Alcantara and carbon everywhere. It's a real, true, raw car. It's amazing.
Okay, comparable for comparable, would you rather have a Lamborghini, a Huracan, or a Ferrari 488?
That's a tough question. The Ferrari 488 is a V8 twin turbo. The Huracan's a naturally aspirated V10. You get the choice of an all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive.
Yep.
I drove the 488 and I drove it hard, and it's very, very impressive. A little detached. I think if I drove the Huracan really hard on the track, I would probably prefer it. But if someone was gonna know prices in consideration, so just give me the car, I would take the Ferrari, because Ferrari's fit and finish and build quality is so much better. And that being said, Huracan is probably the best street-going Lambo ever made.
Absolutely. It's like a big TT, very user-friendly, totally different from the Gallardo. However, your current crush on cars is a GT3 Gen 2 991.2, right?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my next car, if I could get one next year, maybe.
PDK or manual?
I don't know. It depends what else I have. I have my manual E46, that's a track car, so maybe PDK. If I'm driving the car on the street, I would like manual. But when you're driving the car really hard on the track and you have to focus on race line and late braking, it's easier and you're faster with PDK, because you're coming, let's say, at 140, 150 miles per hour, fourth, fifth gear, you're coming into a turn. You want to brake as late as possible, you want to get the right race line, and you don't want to downshift 5, 4, 3, 2, and rev match. You just want to hit the paddle and let the car rev match for you. So it's a no-brainer. F1 cars, that's why they're sequential gearboxes with automated. So PDK is amazing, but there's just something about a stick car. You know, as long as I always have to have a stick car.
It's engaging.
Yeah, so right now I have the F10 M5, which is double clutch, amazing, 600 horsepower, twin turbo V8, carbon ceramic brakes, unbelievable car. I drive circles around some Ferraris depending on the driver. But then I have my E46 M3 2004.
Manual.
Inline 6, naturally aspirated, half of the horsepower, 333 horsepower, manual. It's an outdated slow car, but the feel that it gives me is incredible.
You wear the damn car.
Absolutely.
You also learned something about the roads in Dubai. Would you share that with your fans?
They're not roads. they're racetracks. I mean, since when the climate is good somewhere, the tarmac and asphalt stays in good condition. So the roads here are perfect. If you took all the cars off and you close the roads, it's a proper F1 track. It's unbelievable.
Okay, well, I noticed personally, it's kind of a frustration because in Dubai, it's a beacon, it's a concentration of proper cars everywhere, good cars. However, on the street, you cannot mess around, you cannot jerk like we do in North America, right?
Yeah, man, I didn't know that. My cousin and his friend told me all the videos that we see on YouTube from Dubai are old, and all those guys got their licenses taken away. They're very, very strict, and they have cameras on the highways now, and even if you cover your license plate, they find you.
They found you, they go to extents, and they told us a story about a guy who did some bad things on a known street. Can you tell them what was the sentence they gave him?
Oh, it was he was acting like an idiot and doing donuts in like an SUV. And the sheikh wanted to make an example of him. He gave him six months of cleaning the streets.
You would clean the damn street in downtown for 6 months by himself.
Yeah.
That's the sentence. Absolute example. And believe me, did you see a cops so far here? Cops?
Honestly, no.
No cops.
I saw Kai Green got dropped off at Train SF Gym in a P1 McLaren. Not a P1, but a McLaren. And the cop was like this skinny little guy. It was so funny. I don't know how Kai fit in there. Today, when I drove the open wheel car, the instructor looked at me and he was like, "Come here." And I was like, "What's up?" He's like, "Sit in the car, let me see." And you have your shoulders inside the chassis, so I really technically didn't fit. But when I slid really, really low, I was okay. But like my arms were like this, so I wasn't able to do full turning radius. But those cars, you don't really need to fully lock. They're so sharp, so it was only a little bit. But I couldn't really move much, you know?
One last question for you. You live in the East Coast like me, New York.
Yeah.
If you would have lived in Dubai, would you own a Roadster?
A Roadster convertible?
Convertible.
Absolutely not.
Really?
No.
Even with this weather?
I'm not a convertible guy. I like the stiff chassis. I like carbon roofs and hard tops. And like for me, a race car with a convertible top is like an oxymoron. It's like,
yeah, it does something.
It's like heavier. A bodybuilder with oil in his arms. It just doesn't fucking make sense.
Absolutely saluted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we got a P car right behind us.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the 997.1 generation Carrera S, 355 horsepower. It is the last generation with no direct injection. This was the old engine, 3.8, 355 horsepower. You can see them in the wheels, and they start making them in 2006 or 7, the last one of them.
And if you guys know Louis Marco and I, you know we're big P car fans. We love BMWs and M cars, but M cars at the end of the day are street-going vehicles that are souped up. Porsches are proper race car chassis.
They start from a Carrera. Their life is a Carrera, whereas a 3 Series or an M3, it starts as a 320, and then they soup it up. Yeah. It will never be the same thing.
So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you soon.
Proper.